And you are now tuned into Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Men make moves and suckers stand still. And tonight we have the legend in the making, one of the funniest motherfuckers with a pulse, Mr. Mo Hill in the building. And before I bring him on, I want to show you, let me introduce you to him with some of his classic work right here.
Told you not to come out on this date, but you're the one who invited her over for a drink. Yes, I'm trying to get to know her.
Duh, me too.
No, not on the first date. You make shit difficult.
Sound like a y'all problem to me.
No, that is a we problem. You awfully fucking quiet. What, you having a stroke or something?
I mean, her shit was pretty crazy. You never know, she might be the one.
Why?
She started doing the whole pepper thing. And
So she the one because of that?
fortunately, we're kind of weak for the whole pepper thing.
Shit was crazy, huh?
Feelings a little bit.
As soon as she did it, I was like, oh, so now y'all friends. And y'all wonder why we always confused.
Oh my god, man! All right, let me bring Mo. Oh my, I'm in tears, bro.
Thank
Man,
you, man.
how
Thank
you doing, bro? How's life?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm old, but I'm still ticking.
I like it, man.
Yeah,
As long as you're ticking, man, that's all that matters.
Oh my god, I just turned 50.
Congratulations, man.
50, bro. Like, oh my, I'm getting AARP shit in my emails. It's like, man, I didn't really,
Yeah,
but
you don't feel old until they start giving you the old stuff.
I ain't getting no discounts yet, though.
See, that's when you know it kicked in. See, 50 don't mean nothing until you get the discounts.
Yeah, man, I went to Bob Evans Sunday for my birthday, man. I ain't get shit free. Nothing.
Oh yeah, you definitely get known if you have Bob Evans for your birthday. That's the first sign, man. Because I bet you if you was 35 or 40, you would not be in no damn Bob Evans, buddy. Yeah, at least go to Red Lobster and get some cheesy biscuits. You have Bob Evans getting the turkey with the gravy. Oh no.
Oh my god, yeah, man. We had a good time though, man. Yo,
That's good, man. At least you had a good birthday, man. That's good.
So comedy, man. That you're
Yeah.
doing your thing out there, and if the day was the first time you saw a little clip of the I don't know what you want to call it, a skit.
Yeah, they're just skits. Yeah, they're skits. Yeah.
He's got a whole series of them, man, and it's just fucking hilarious. How did
Thank
you
you,
come up
man.
with the heart, the brain, and the dick?
To be honest with you, man, I got the idea from watching. I am a comedy historian. Like I love since I've been a kid. I was a big TV buff. I was always watching movies, watching TV shows. I grew up on BET and the different things that was going on back in the early 2000s and late 90s. But I got the idea from Richard Pryor. So the day before, I'm a huge fan. Richard Pryor's in my top three favorite comedians. I get a lot of my style from Richard Pryor as far as the type of stuff that I talk about, the authenticity of my comedy. But the day before I came up for the skit, if anybody knows anything about Richard Pryor, is he's one of the first comedians to come up with personification comedy. I don't know if you know what that is or not, but personification comedy is basically where you bring inept things to life. Like he would give his heart a personality, or his stomach a personality, or his arm. Or if you ever see his stand-up his stand-up concert, he often would talk about the animals having a personality, or when his dad punched him in the stomach and his chest wrapped around his fist, or when he shot the motor out of his car and dropped out, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So I had just watched that special the night before, and at the time I was going through kind of like a little breakup stage with this girl that I had just been talking to, and I was like, man, what if I just basically personified like how I'm feeling right now? And obviously there's some comedic exaggeration to it, but that's kind of where I got the idea from, man. Watching Richard Pryor, man.
The shit works though, man. And we was talking about it a little bit as far as taking it to the next step. You said you've been working on that. What's the next step? Let the people know.
Well, so long term, man, what I want to do is, right now, just kind of give you a sneak peek. Right now, you just kind of see me doing three characters, and I'm gonna always keep it at three characters, because men, we're simple. So anything outside of that will make us complicated, right? Which is not true to how men are. So right now, you just see me. I'm kind of in my living room, is where I film a lot of this at, and it's just 30-second, 1 minute, just scenarios and different predicaments that men might be in. In the future, what I'm going to do is have it to where it'll be like three actual guys who are all played by me coexisting in an actual house. So instead of them being three people in one area, kind of going through a scenario, there's going to be actual episodes of a storyline. So it'll be more in depth. Each of those things that you're seeing eventually are going to be put into a pot, and we're going to make them longer, like maybe at this point, my idea is maybe 5 or 10 minute episodes, but eventually they're going to be like real episodes to where it's going to be me playing three different characters, but we're going to be coexisting in a house like three roommates, but they're going to be the heart, the dick, and the brain, all in the same place, going through these different scenarios of life as three different people.
That's crazy. Now you're from Cleveland, right?
Originally, yeah. I'm originally from Cleveland, but I grew up here in Columbus.
That's unfortunate, man. I hate Columbus. No disrespect.
Damn.
Respectfully. I'm from Michigan, bro.
Oh, you from Michigan?
Yes.
Oh, that's why.
Yes.
What part of Michigan? You from Detroit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got a lot of love for Detroit. A lot of my family. I always say the one tribe of my family is from Detroit. I got a lot of roots in Detroit. So.
But I've been living in Cleveland for about 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. They always say Cleveland
outside.
Yeah, it is. They say Cleveland is the suburb of Detroit.
Suburb?
Not the suburb, but like the city is the city. It's like a mini version of Detroit.
Yo, but you captured the essence of a Browns fan perfectly.
Yeah.
the eternal displaced hope in this city for the Browns,
man,
is nauseating.
It is. Trust me, man. I know.
I'm a Lions fan. The difference between the Lions fan and the Browns fan is we absolutely know our team is trash. We're not going to the playoffs ever. I'm not going to see that.
Right.
We're going to get one Hall of Fame player every decade.
Yeah.
And that's it. Ain't
That's
none
it.
of that. Next year we're going to go. No, the Browns fans.
We do got a lot of hope.
Year.
We do.
Oh man, we're gonna go to the playoffs.
It's our year. It's our year, man. We got so close at one point last year. It was so close, and then we just digress so hard. That's the worst. I'd rather just be bad every year than get close and then go backwards.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You know what I mean?
You need a little ounce of hope, man. We don't have that. Like even when we had Barry Sanders, and yes, I'm old enough to have seen him play.
I'm jealous, man. I know those some great years, man.
No, they were worse.
Really? Why?
Because we had the unequivocal best player in the league making ridiculous plays to get 12 yards.
Was y'all, wait, I don't even know. Obviously, I wasn't around at that time. What were your record during those years? Were they winning records, or was y'all still like?
We had a couple of years where we actually did go to the playoffs. I won't lie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We had Herman Moore. Herman Moore was dope. The quarterbacks, I can't even remember the names. It was a revolving door of quarterbacks. Yeah. But a couple of years, we did all right. But we knew we were lucky to be there, and we weren't going to do anything. So it was just, and it was so bad he quit. I'm done. I don't want to play no more. I'm retiring. And it's not like Jim Brown retired and went to Hollywood. He just retired and went home.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, it was shitty.
Didn't do nothing.
First joke. What was your first joke?
My first joke, like doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh man, what was my first joke? My first joke.
Was it funny?
Hold on, let me think. I remember my first time ever getting on stage. Let me think of my
what was that like?
Joke. I think actually I do remember. I think I told a joke about my dad. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I told a joke about my dad and like being a kid or something. I can't remember exactly what a joke was, but my first time on stage as a stand-up, it was interesting. It wasn't. The thing is, I've been doing improv comedy for about 10 years, 10 plus for the latter of 10 years. So I was already comfortable being on stage, and I already kind of had the learning. I didn't have the learning curve of stage presence and experience being on stage but I didn't have experience with structured jokes and doing that kind of stuff. So when I was on stage, I was comfortable, but
Mhm.
actually doing stand-up jokes, that's where I was like real fuzzy. Now, actually, no, I take that back. I do remember I said on stage. My first time on stage was just me roasting. Somebody in the crowd had said something because I said I went to Wright State University in Dayton, and this lady had said something, and I think I got into a back and forth roasting with her. And that's kind of my wheelhouse. I'm a roaster at heart. Like that's what I'm good at. And then being an improv, I'm really good at snapping jokes and stuff like that off the cuff. So I think that's what I did. So it wasn't that bad. It definitely I didn't bomb, but I wasn't up there killing. You know, I got some chuckles and a couple laughs, but no, I wasn't up there just killing on with everything. Nah, not at all.
What's that like? What is it like to just get up there and everything hits?
Man, it's I just had this experience in New York 2 weeks ago. I was at the Brooklyn Comedy Club, and it was just I couldn't miss. I could not miss. And when you get off stage, it's literally like who was that? You ever see the Olympics when was it Maurice Green when he like fanned his shoes off? When
Yeah,
he yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it feels like when you get off stage. Like the comedians know, like don't say nothing. When you see a comedian that just lit the room on fire, you gotta let him cool off for a few minutes. Don't go talk to him. Don't say that. Just you gotta let him cool off. And I was on a high for about 3 or 4 days because it was my first time performing in a room like that, and I killed. So it was a good feeling. It's a dope
That's
feeling. You
that's
feel like
dope.
you're in the clouds.
Because everybody think they funny until you
Some
have to be
people might.
funny.
True. Being funny as a person and being funny on stage are two different ball games. Yeah, two
I know.
totally different things.
I interviewed David Arnold a couple years ago.
One of my favorite comedians, by the way.
Dude's just a really naturally funny dude.
Yeah, he is.
But his side hustles is what's like he's got shit on Nickelodeon. He writes
Hmm.
shit for other people. Like his side hustles are really what's doing it for him. How do you get into that aspect of the game?
Where you get side hustles.
Yeah.
I think I think that's a time and experience thing.
Mhm.
Like for me, I was being overzealous actually a few months ago with some of the stuff that I want to do, but one thing you learn is like you got to kind of water one seed at a time.
Mhm.
You can water multiple seeds, but at the same time, in order for you to really adequately take care of a skill set to be able to utilize it and be fruitful, you got to make sure that you develop it first, you know?
Mhm.
So I think it's developing the skill set to be able to have the side hustles. I think David's been in the game for so long and doing well for so long that he can kind of pivot and use a lot of that creativity to be funny elsewhere and have those side hustles because he's developed his stand up so much. You know what I mean? So I think it's a time thing. I think it's an experience thing and also the network that you get when you're in that position. I think all those things tie together to allow you to have side hustles. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of side hobbies, you know?
When you gonna be performing in Cleveland?
I don't know, man. It's you know what? I'll be honest with you. I did perform for the first time in Cleveland in November. I did the improv with Rob Ward, B Titty, and comedian CP. It was
Mhm.
my first time doing a Cleveland room, and Cleveland is notorious for being tough. At least I thought it was tough at the time. I've developed a lot since November,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I can't answer that question, man. I don't really, to be honest with you, my market in Ohio in general is very minuscule. I barely really even get shows here in Columbus. A lot of the stuff that I've been doing has all been out of town, man. They all been in New York mostly, and a couple other places in different states. So,
Don't get discouraged, man. It's like that
oh,
for
I'm not.
a lot of motherfuckers in different areas,
Yeah,
actors,
yeah.
rappers, they get popping elsewhere and then the hometown
And
picks up
then
after the wave.
yeah, I already know how it's gonna go. I talked to Rob Ward about it, man. He's mentioned it a couple times, like Cleveland. You know, he doesn't perform at home in Cleveland as much as he should, being from here. And I'm like, I know, it's just gonna be a matter of time. I'm sure it's gonna be a time where they're gonna be trying to get me out of Cleveland. Like, it's just a matter of time.
I doubt it, man. They ain't gonna try to get you out of here. Because we go to it's not the improv. What's the other one? Um,
Hilarities,
yeah, we go to Hilarities.
yeah,
And I'm not
hilarities, yeah,
even on front, man. Like we just went down there because the tickets were free.
yeah,
But I don't think we've been, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times in the last couple of years, and there's not been one time where we went down there and been like, "Oh, they were just trash." It's
yeah, yeah. Nah.
just random people I've never heard of, and go down
Mhm.
there and just dying laughing.
Yeah. I don't think that. Yeah, they pretty good about putting up good talent and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They don't. I don't think they ever really do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you always gonna get some good people on stage there.
Shit, let me know when you're in town too, bro, because we will definitely come support.
Oh, absolutely, man. Whenever I come back to Cleveland, I always try to make sure I let everybody know and try to get as many people out to support. If I know in advance. When I got those guest spots in Cleveland the last time I was there, it was literally like a day's notice. So nobody really knew that I didn't even know I was gonna be performing
I've been there, man. Back in my day, I called myself being a rapper. That was all
there.
right. But I had an audition slash performance in Detroit, and I
Hmm.
had this song that I wrote that I had called West 7 Mile. That was like about the street that I grew up. It's a fucking
Okay.
fire ass song.
Hmm.
The dude that produced the song, I had him to mix it, do it for a performance with track, and he
Hmm.
left out the hook.
Oh man.
So I get there, I'm like, I can't do it without the hook because it's a dude singing.
Hmm.
So I decided to do this other song, and I got the shit booed out of me. And
Oh man.
oh man, it was fucking crushing, man. And my
That's
cousin was
terrible.
there, and she was just like, she tried to clap through the booze, but it didn't work.
You can't clap through no booze, bro.
No,
Unless the people that's booing is clapping, it's a
man,
wrap for you, dog.
no.
You can't ain't no clapping through no booze, man.
Have you ever been booed?
I've never been booed. I've
Oh,
never been
God
booed.
bless you.
Knock on wood. I think at this point, if I haven't been booed, I don't think I will because I'm getting better. Um, and obviously I've had my bombing moments.
Mhm.
I've never been booed and I've never like been told to like get off stage or anything like that.
What's a
Not
bombing
yet.
moment?
Oh, when you bomb, it's just like bombing is when you get up there and you get and you get like nothing from the crowd. Like nobody's laughing, they just looking at you, or or you get booed,
Mhm.
or you just have a moment where like you suck. Like you just nothing happening. Like I've as far as shows go,
Mhm.
I've had a lot of shows where I like didn't do well, but I wouldn't
Mhm.
say that I completely bombed. Like I always the thing that I feel like is not separating me, but the thing that helps me a lot is because I've done improv for so long.
Yeah.
I know how to if I'm having an awkward moment on stage, I know how to address it and be funny about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's dope.
I know how to if it's not my material,
Uh,
I know how to pull something out of somewhere to get something, whether it's little or not. So I've never had, and I'm not counting open mics or nothing. Those don't count. But actual shows, I've not had a show where I've like 1,000% got absolutely nothing from a crowd. Not yet. I know my time's coming, and I've had some down shows, but I've
mhm.
yet to like bomb through the floor.
So like when you coming up with material,
Hmm.
like I've seen comics do the same, this the whole thing over, like repeatedly. They'll do it. You see them in this city, and then you look up on YouTube in another city, and it's the exact same thing. When they do
Hmm.
that, is that something that they piece together over a certain amount of time and say, okay, this joke should go with this joke? Or is it just something that it all hits, like when you said you did the show in Brooklyn? Like, will you do that all of that material and continue to do that, or do you take pieces of that and add it to other material?
It's both. It's
Mhm.
both. So, and it depends on what the material is about. So, that is the thing, though. We try to perfect. Like, if you have a strong 15 or 20-minute set, we don't do. Some comedians can do this, but it's kind of hard for you to really perfect and really mold a really good set without doing it a bunch of times in front of a bunch of crowds because you get to the point where you get good enough to change things, mix things up, mix. Or you might see the same set, but
Mhm.
in between you seeing it at the actual show or on YouTube, he probably performed that set 5 or 6 other times or more, switching it up, trying it different ways, reversing the order, trying it with
Mhm.
different sets that he might have. There's always a mix and mash to try to find that perfected set that you can hit a big stage with and get big laughs. Because that's the goal. We all want big laughs. So we do the same sets over and over and over and over. But that's because the crowd that you're getting in front of, they haven't seen it yet.
Right.
But like the material that I was killing with in New York,
Mhm.
I wouldn't do here in Ohio because it was a New York set. It was my observation and my perspective on New York, and that would resonate more in New York than it will in Cleveland or in California. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel
So
you.
I might not take that same material and do it a bunch of times here. I might take pieces of it. Like there are certain pieces of it that people can relate to, but not the whole thing. So
Okay.
yeah, I try different stuff out in different places just to master that aspect of that particular joke. Then I'll put it back together and then do the whole thing somewhere else or something.
Okay. So you said Richard Pryor was in your top 3. Who's the other
Mm.
2?
Ooh, man. Um, okay. So my Mount Rushmore, the 3 comedians that I say, these are the comedians. I have favorite comedians that make me laugh. They're the
Mhm.
best comedians ever. But when I say my top 3, these are people who inspire me in my comedy, whether it's the
Mhm.
blueprint or just how they do comedy. So
Okay.
definitely Richard Pryor,
Got you.
Tony Roberts,
Okay.
and this last one is a tough one. I'm gonna say Kevin Hart. Kevin
Really?
Hart. Yeah. Kevin Hart
Hmm.
because of the
Although I've
he's
argued with a lot of niggas over the years that Kevin Hart is fucking funny, they don't like, a lot of brothers don't like Kevin Hart because he's quote unquote corny. I think Kevin Hart is fucking funny, and I have kids and grandkids, so it resonates. The shit he be talking about resonates with me more.
that's why he's my favorite because of the blueprint.
Mm,
It's not so I look at Kevin beyond just him standing on stage and telling some jokes.
mm,
When you look at most of the comedians who were stars, one thing that you notice is the authenticity of their comedy. So he
mm.
talks about his life and the things that
Yeah,
happen, but also when you look at the trajectory of his career and the comedic rock star that he's become and what it took to get there, that's what inspires me is his journey. It's his journey from A to B. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And then
yeah.
his ability to take his life, and that's kind of how I am. I
Mm,
felt like since the beginning, I looked at my notes when I first got on stage and I was writing down all these ideas for comedy. It was only about things that I saw, things I directly experienced, things that I directly had a perspective of within my life. Because it's easy to be passionate about that stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I'm not
yeah.
passionate about politics, so it's kind of hard for me to make a joke about politics. I'm not big into politics. I don't know much about it to even give you a good joke. I'd have to do extensive research to make something funny, as opposed to
Mhm.
me telling you a story about how my daughter don't respect me by leaving the cookies out. You see what I'm saying? It's a different type of passion that you have with the jokes, and that's why I respect his material and what he's doing so much because it's a reflection of something that I'm aspiring to be.
Yo, man, I was talking to my daughter, one of my daughters. I got 3. They're all grown.
Mhm.
A
Okay.
couple of years ago, and we were talking about me telling her no, and she said, "When did you do that?" Stop fucking.
See?
Oh, and like a long time ago, I told my ex, look, I'm not good with disciplining them. I, it's- I can't say no. And to
Right.
this day, to this fucking day, like it, I don't know what type of voodoo little girls put on their daddies,
Man, it's
but this shit,
crazy.
bro, the shit never goes away. I don't know
It does not,
how
man.
old is your daughter.
She's 7.
Oh God, yeah, you.
Yeah. Yeah, she's at that age. She's very smart and slick, man. She got a she I'm like, man, you're gonna be an attorney because you got an answer for everything. Like it don't matter what it is, how wrong she is, she got a rebuttal. She gonna argue me to death. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you better get famous quick then, bro.
I'm
Cause
trying.
that shit is not cheap at
No, they're not.
all.
No, it's
Oh
getting
my
more
God.
expensive. They start asking for cars and all kind of phones and watches. Oh my goodness.
Oh my, and it's the shit that they don't ask for that you find yourself offering. Oh well,
Right.
sweetie, you need a new phone? Well, yeah. Sure, let me get that.
Right.
Absolutely no fucking reason, man. Um, it's a beautiful journey though, bro.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
And
I
and
love
and
it.
if nobody tells you, if nobody's told you today, bro, I'm proud of you. I
Thank you,
like the
man. I
shit you're
appreciate
doing, man. Your shit's funny, and you can tell that it's you. You
Thank you,
know,
man. I
like
appreciate that.
now. Let me ask you this: there's a guy
Mm-hmm.
I saw, a white dude few years
Mm-hmm.
ago. I think I'm pretty sure he OD'd, but
Mm-hmm.
he had a special on Comedy Central. Mitch Hedberg,
Okay.
and for my money, it was the funniest 30 minutes that I have ever seen for a comic.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to bet your life on one 30-minute set, what
Mm-hmm.
set would it be?
From me, or a comic that I like.
For it from any comic, living, dead, or in between.
Mm. The comic that makes me laugh the absolute hardest, and this is just me. I'm talking. This is Tony Roberts, man.
I
Tony,
gotta look at some of his shit, man.
man, listen. When I tell you, Tony Roberts is hands down like I can't even like when I talk about Tony Roberts. Tony Roberts literally is when I say any 30-minute set, I put Tony Roberts against anybody. Anybody.
That's tough.
Pound for pound, my favorite comedian of all time. When I tell you, like, this dude is like, he's the first, and I have a lot of comics that are my favorite. I have a lot of
Mhm.
comics that I love watching. When I say he's my favorite from the time he steps on stage to the time I am in tears. No comic, I laugh at comedy. I think things are funny. Kevin Hart has me dying. Eddie Murphy can have me dying. But Tony, I'm laughing from the soul. Like for
That's a
the
different
entire
laugh.
30 minutes, it's a different laugh. Like the
Yes.
entire time, I am laughing so far down there because I'm still laughing from 4 jokes ago. I got this. He's like a delayed laugh because I gotta catch up to what's funny 20
Yes.
minutes later. That's how
Yes.
funny he is, man. He's pound for pound my favorite comedian of all time, man.
Dave
Hands
Chappelle
down.
takes me there too. Like
Hmm.
Dave Chappelle is he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. All right, King Vitamin, is that the best knockoff cereal?
King Vitamin. I don't think I've had that before.
You've never had King? Oh, you've got to do your soul and your taste buds a favor,
I
bro.
don't. Is
It
this is this generic cereal
it
or
is.
name?
It's
I
generic.
know my generic cereals. Wait, which one is that?
It's Captain. It's fake Captain Crunch. Oh my! You know what?
No, see, the one
That
that I had was
that might be
was it
my
Captain D's. It wasn't Vitamin. It
Captain
was
D's.
Captain. Yeah,
Captain
man. I know what I'm talking about. I promise, because my mom used to buy it all the time.
Captain D's. I've never heard of that shit. Well, see, you know what? Being broke in my era was a different is a different journey. Like, and to be fair, like I really wasn't, but I had some cousins that were broke, and I
Hmm.
swear, man, they had powdered every fucking thing. I mean, powdered milk, powdered eggs, powdered this. But King Vitamin and the government would get that shit away free. That shit was better than Captain Crunch, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I always thought the generic cereals was better than the real cereals, like Apple Boppers. Oh man, come on.
I've never had
Heck,
apple boppers.
yeah, Apple Boppers was the Apple. Apple Jacks is the
Apple
name
Jacks,
brand,
right?
but the generic was Apple Boppers, and the Apple Boppers was better when I was a kid because they had more sugar in them.
I gotta
They
find
was
some
stingy with the
apple
sugar on
boppers.
Apple Jacks, Apple Boppers. Oh my goodness,
Although Apple Jacks is legit a great cereal, though.
it
Like that,
is. It is.
definitely,
That's one of my
definitely my
favorite
top five.
cereals
Yeah,
still.
definitely top
Yeah,
five.
that's
Like
yeah, it
gotta
is.
put Captain Crunch up there.
Man, Captain Crunch is just classic. Apple
Cr-
Boppers is classic.
Crunch berries too.
Uh, Crunch
Like
Berries.
I gotta put the original Captain Crunch and Crunch berries. They got both of those. Got to be
Mhm.
top five. And Apple Jacks. I'm gonna say Raisin Bran. Although I
Raisin
just found
Bran.
out recently that Raisin Bran is hella unhealthy.
I didn't know that. My mom used to always buy it thinking it was healthy because they had the one with the oats in it
Yes,
and the
thought the shit was
walnuts. I was
healthy
like, oh, this
too.
is even healthier. Yeah,
Yes. Come to find out,
it's
it's
not that
not.
healthy.
They put a lot of sugar in the shit. No wonder I
We
love this
didn't
shit.
care.
I
We did
didn't give a
not
fuck.
care.
To this
Didn't
day,
care.
man, I don't care. What's
All
the
the
cereal?
cereals that I loved were the
Mhm.
cereals that made my milk taste good. Those are the ones that I went towards the most. So Apple Boppers, they make your cereal taste like sugars and
That's
apples.
true.
I love cinnamon toast crunch because it makes your cereal taste
Oh,
like
okay,
cereal.
that's trash though, bro. Cinnamon toast crunch.
Oh, what?
Oh my god, that's
Cinnamon toast
trash,
crunch. Your
bro.
cereal, your milk be tasting
Oh
like
my god,
cinnamon. Oh
that's
my
trash
goodness.
though, bro. Like
So
cinnamon
good.
itself is an overrated spice. Like,
see, give
cinnamon
me
is
some
ass.
cinnamon, some caramel every time on anything. Ice cream, cake, cheesecake. If I see
Oh,
cinnamon and caramel, yeah, ring that
oh,
up.
oh man,
Love it.
no, no. But I'm with you on the milk flavoring because if you can drink the milk and the milk tastes delicious after the cereal, that's a great cereal.
Yeah.
And a
Chocolate
shitload of
Cocoa
sugar.
Puffs? Oh
Oh,
man.
not fucking with those either.
What?
And,
The
but
chocolate milk? Oh, come on.
I just never got into the whole chocolate.
I don't
None of
like
my
chocolate
cereal.
either. That's the only chocolate thing that I did like was the Cocoa Puff. That's the only thing that I did
I
like because it
fucks
made
with
my milk
chocolate.
taste like chocolate. I don't like chocolate. See,
Oh
I don't
man,
like a regular Hershey's or something. No, but
oh
if you
that's
give me like
disrespectful.
if you got chocolate with something in it, like a Reese's, a Milky Way,
Okay,
or like a
okay.
Twix, all day. I eat that all
Man,
day. But just like a
Twix is
pure piece of
overrated.
chocolate, no.
Yeah, Twix is hella overrated, but a
It is. It
Snickers.
is.
Snickers is
Snickers. I
gotta
smash
be
a
the best
Snickers.
candy bar. Oh my! See, you missed the whole penny candy days.
No, I didn't.
Really?
Because my aunt, my family's old school. My family, one of my aunts used to always. It wasn't a penny anymore, but I don't know if it was like a store. Was it the West Side Market? I forget where she would get it
Mhm.
from, but she used to have it. I don't know how she would get it, but when I was a kid, she used to babysit me, and she would give me the candy. Yeah, man. I don't know what they were all called, but I do remember because she used to always talk about it. She's like, y'all don't know about when we was kids, we used to go to the store, we used to get 15 cent or 10 cent from somebody and go to the
Oh
store
my
and come back with a
god!
big bag of like candy or something. I was like,
Oh my
what?
god! A
Yeah.
dollar was like a deal in my day. Like nigga,
Oh,
I could go. We had this bicycle shop that sold candy for a dollar. I had a bag of candy that big,
see,
literally
man.
all type of shit, man.
Yeah, I was like, man, if I was around with penny candy, I thought we was doing something when candy was like, this was back when I'm not that old, but think inflation. But this is when the oatmeal cream pies, brownies, all that stuff was
Oh
25 cents.
man,
Like it was a quarter. And I used to
that's
think we used to go somewhere with like a dollar or two. You used to get flaming hots, a couple oatmeal pies, and some brownies. Oh my God, you was rich. How much bargaining power you had
oh my
when you
god.
would
You
show
could
up with two
actually bribe a
brownies.
kid for a dollar.
Bro, you can
I,
bribe a kid with anything. You got two brownies in your pocket. Oh, I'll get you to do anything. I bet you won't ghost ride your bike down the street in the middle of traffic. I'll give you a
oh
half
my
of this brownie. Shit,
man,
that bike could be in West 25th
you
somewhere.
can't get a kid to do shit nowadays.
Nah, back then, bribe me with man. Come in. I got some flaming hots if you want. What I gotta do? What do I have to do?
So, are you a write down the goals person?
I am. I am.
What's the goals for the next 5 years?
The next five. In the next 3 to 5 years, I expect to be in some major movie or TV show, and I expect to have some type of tour going or being. I expect to be in the next 3 to 5 years. I expect to
Mhm.
be a part of some stand-up tour and or have some credit in a movie, TV show, or some type of commercial or something. Those are my three goals. And to
There's a
have my own TV series or my own inner circle series going. So those four things.
there's a sister in Chicago, Just Nesh.
Just
Um,
I feel like
yeah,
I heard of her.
because she's kind of popping. She's done some shit for Kevin Hart. But I don't know if she still hosted every week, but she had like a because Chicago like for comics is like a big deal.
Hmm.
Look her up, man, because I'm pretty sure you probably can get. And it's another brother that I fucks with on the book for years, Marcus Shark. Pretty,
Hmm.
been doing his thing there. Look him up and see if you can get into some of that Chicago market love, man. Because
Okay.
those dudes, and I remember um, I was supposed to interview a really big dude in comedy behind the
Hmm.
scenes.
Hmm.
This nigga flaked on me because
Oh
I
man.
didn't know about some obscure project this nigga had that wasn't popping.
Hmm.
And I'm like, and I tried to explain to him, like, dude, I usually don't really start researching somebody to the week of the interview because I
Hmm.
forget shit. I would like shit to be fresh.
Hmm.
So it doesn't, I'm not always looking down and asking questions. I want it to seem kind of natural.
Right. Yeah. As you
Oh,
should. Yeah.
this nigga went off on me, bro.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy, man.
one of the few times somebody has rescinded the interview. Like actually, this is the like people have just showed over the years a couple of times, but this
Mhm.
dude, I'm not. Nope, because you don't know enough about me. I was hurt,
Man,
bro.
he was like that.
Yes, and I had actually like I was like really looking forward to this. Anyway, um,
That's unfortunate, man.
yeah, it is what it is, man. I've been doing this for
Mm,
a while now, so I'm kind of used to all type of shit.
mm,
The cicada bit is
mm.
probably the most original bit that I've heard from a comic in a long time. To
Oh, about the
turn
cicadas.
cicada, my bad.
Yeah,
Yes.
cicadas. Yeah.
Oh my, how the fuck is you thinking, bro? And that's one thing. That's what I was thinking when I'm listening to it. Is like his weed must really be good. It's got
I
to
don't
be something.
smoke, man. I
It's
don't
got to be
smoke.
something, man.
No,
Whatever you
no.
are doing, like, where do you get that
That was the
observation?
first. That was actually the first and last time I've done that joke. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't done that joke since. That was the first time that I did that joke back in June because at the time, so that's when cicadas was like they was out. They was
Everywhere.
outside
Yes.
of. They were everywhere at that time, and I did that joke, and I haven't done it since. That was the first time I ever did it, and I haven't done it
Yo,
since. That.
it's big
Yeah,
in Detroit too, man. Like if you
yeah, yeah. They was
haters,
everywhere, man. I'm sure I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna do it again once they come back out. It's gonna be it's a timeless joke, but
that
yeah, it was
shit
the
was
first time I
fucking
performed it.
hilarious.
Yeah,
I never knew what their name was, but when you said the name and did the joke, I immediately knew what you were talking about.
yeah,
And I'm over here dying like I watched it
yeah.
3 times before the interview itself. And I'm over here just
It was funny because when I thought of it, I was like, it was funny. I wrote that joke that day because I had that was my show. Most Comedy Wave is a show that I throw here in Columbus, and
uh-huh.
I wrote that joke that morning before I came in, before I did the show, just because they was everywhere, and I was like, man, these damn things. But I always was scared of cicadas. I thought they really could like do some damage, and then when you Google them, you're like, oh, y'all just some big ass teddy bears flying around. Y'all ain't gonna do shit,
It's like if I did this and
and
gave you a
then
hug,
give you
give
a
me a walk
hug.
off
Yeah.
and died.
And just walk off and die because they die in 2 weeks. Yeah, man, they big and tough for no reason, man.
I had no clue about any of
Bro,
that
they don't
shit.
do nothing. I looked it up. I was like, man, they don't sting you. They don't bite you. They're not poisonous. They just literally fly into you. They don't do nothing.
Okay, so
They're
what's
not,
the point then? Because everything's got
bro.
some type of point.
They literally come out of the ground to reproduce and die. And then all those eggs go back into the ground for however many years and they come back up and they do it again. I don't know what there's no. Now, the only thing I will say, I'm a big movie or not movie. I'm a big animal buff. When I was a kid, I used to
Uh-huh.
bury my face in. At the time, it was before Nat Geo came out, it was Discovery Channel. They always
Okay.
had like. So I think, in my opinion, it's for the ecosystem because there are a lot of birds and animals that eat cicadas. So to me, it's probably just something that continues. But there's so many. Like there's so many.
Like literally,
Uh,
on the east side of Detroit, near the river,
mhm.
they would blanket the street, and like when you're driving down the street, you hear the crunching up under your tires
Yeah.
for blocks. You get out the car and you have to run into the house. Shit
Yeah.
was like the fucking plague.
It's the plague, man. It's crazy. I don't know why they're just everywhere all the time.
So you into the animals. What's the most pointless animal?
A cicada.
Are they animals or insects?
They're insects. But you say what's the most pointless animal?
I would say a platypus
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
or a sloth. Like I'm not sure what I'm no expert. I'm not sure what
I would,
sloths
you know what?
do, but they're so
Honestly,
fucking slow they can't do much of anything.
I would agree with you on the sloth because they sleep like I forget it's like some astronomical amount of hours a day, and they just stay in the same spot, and they don't eat. They eat the trees, then the leaves, and they don't come down. So yeah, they don't. I don't know. I don't know what their purpose is, bro. I have no idea.
Like animal welfare. Like
Yeah,
they don't do
I don't know
shit
what they
all
do, man. They
day.
just like they are literally just They're like the homeless people of them, the
Oh
Wild
my
Kingdom.
god!
They just don't do nothing.
And they fucked up looking. It's like you got no job,
Yeah,
no real place to live,
man.
no prospects,
It's like a
and you
broke ass
look like
uncle in the
shit.
jungle.
Oh my!
They just sit in the trees, man. Even when I go to the zoo, my daughter be like, "Oh, can we look at the sloths?" I'm like, "For what?"
they, they're not going nowhere.
Yeah, he'll be there when we get back. In 2, 3, he'll be in the same spot doing exactly what he's doing. Nothing. So
Although the
nothing as
Cleveland Zoo, they need to shut that shit down, man. That shit's embarrassing.
really. I haven't been to the Cleveland Zoo since I was in elementary school.
Oh my god, man. We took the
Is it just like run
grandkids.
down or what's wrong with it?
The animals all look
Miserable.
depressed and
I
poor.
mean, they kind of are. Like
But if
they're
you go
in,
to the Columbus Zoo is like
that's true. That's true. I give you
night
that.
and day.
Columbus Zoo is probably one of the better zoos in the entire country. I mean, Jack Hanna is here. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why he was on TV all the time on all the talk shows with all the animals. That's Columbus Zoo right there.
Yeah, shit's ridiculously expensive though. I
It
could not
is.
believe. I told my wife, look, you're not coming back here. I don't. We'll go see the Depression. Like this shit was. We had to drive hours to get there to spend like $300 at a zoo.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what did you do? What you spent? How much money
it was like $300.
for just
Yes.
y'all two?
No, it was us and two of the grandkids. I mean, and it's not just getting in, but it's walking
Oh, you talking
around
about
and
walking around and buying the Dippin' Dots and
yes,
your grandkids hustled you. Just say that.
they all
Your
hustled
grandkids
me.
they hustled you because
They all
I
hustled me.
ain't job yet to spend $300 at the
Oh
zoo.
my god, man!
Grandpa, can we get this? Can we get this? Yeah, you spent
being
$300.
grandparents is a continuous state of hustle.
Yeah, they hustle you.
Oh my god, because
Can't say
oh, and then
no.
my oldest is 12, and she will send me links to. She sent us a link to some Jordans,
Oh,
and I
y'all need
thought
to turn
about
off her
buying them.
internet. Oh, I mean, sometimes if it's positive reinforcement, if she's getting good grades and like doing well, there's nothing wrong with that.
And $170.
Yeah, you need to. Ain't no.
And my mother bought me $300 shoes when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I'm
probably a
thinking
big deal.
that was a big deal back then. Like I had some Gucci's back then. It was me and like two other cats in our high school with Gucci's.
Mm.
I kept the motherfuckers so long I spray painted them.
You're like, I ain't getting rid of these.
Hell no! I
That's
spray painted
funny.
them red and green when they got home, and they came back to life. First time somebody
Man,
had sprayed,
didn't
man,
even know you spray painted them.
we held on to those. But my mother spent $300 on some Gucci's, so
Mm.
I felt obligated. Well, the old lady was like, "No, we're not doing that." She had to get like straight A's or some shit like that.
Right, yeah.
But I contemplated it. It's how much of a sucker I am.
At least you own it.
I do, man. If people want to get in contact with you, how do they do that?
You can get in contact with me on obviously on Instagram at mo_funny. I primarily use my Instagram. I do have a TikTok and also mo_funny. And I don't have a Twitter. That's it. TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, that's
You got a
pretty much
YouTube
it.
too.
And oh yeah, and I have a YouTube channel. Man, you just reminded me. I got so much going on. Yes, I do have a YouTube channel. It's Mo Hill Comedy. Definitely go check me out there. You can go view some of the stuff, some of my stand up. I post a lot of my stand up stuff on there as well. Post a lot of my skit stuff on there, and definitely want to get a head start on following me now, just in case some new stuff pop up and I start posting that. So,
Because the IG
yeah,
is popping. It's
I'm getting
killing.
there, man. I'm doing everything, trying to do everything out of the mud, man. This is all me. No co-signing, no none of that, man.
The
Just
IG
all.
is popping, man.
Yeah, thank you,
We seeing it out there, man. The shitload of comments. Let me
man.
the worst date you've been on.
The worst date that I've ever
Yes,
been on,
yes.
like first date or a date in general.
Period.
Man, I haven't had many bad first dates. I've been on some bad I've been on some bad dates. Um, man, let me see. I went on a date. I'm trying to think what we classify. Like you just go on a random date with the girls. Does it count if I was seeing the person?
I don't care. I'll
Mm,
I'll give you my mine. While you think
okay.
about that. I go pick this chick up, East Side chick. First off, the red flag. Anyway, 5 minutes into the car ride, she's like, "You got a cup?" I'm like, what the fuck you need a cup for? I just randomly had a McDonald's cup. Yeah, I got a cup. Pull over. Well, why do you need to pull over? Just pull over. I pull over. She pees in the cup. I turn around, take her ass back to the crib, put her out, and go home and never call her again.
Why did she just go to the rest?
Cause she's nasty.
Whoa, yeah, that's a huge red flag.
Oh, that's not
That's
even a flat. That's a huge red planet. That's Mars. Like,
that is that's crazy.
nasty. Yes, we had passed stores. We were 5 minutes away. You could have told me just turn around.
That's
I gotta use the
crazy.
bathroom. It happens.
Um, I I went on a date. Well, I went on a date. I was kind of seeing this girl, but basically, long story short, I was visiting a girl I was seeing in DC, and we were on a date. And she got mad. She got mad at me over something that was very, very like irrelevant. And basically, it was in the dead of winter. It was like DC had just had this really bad snowstorm, and we get in the Uber, and she tried to get out of a moving Uber. Like she tried to get out of a moving Uber. That was the first thing that happened. And the second thing that happened was my stuff was at her place, and I was asking, could I go get my stuff? And I was going to go stay at a friend's until I flew out, and she wouldn't give me my stuff. So I literally had to call. I was like, if you don't give me my stuff, I'm going to call the police to get my stuff. And she was like, no, you won't. I was like, okay. And I called. I called the police. And she panicked and was like, no, you can't do that. And she hung up the phone. And long story short, it was cold outside, so like I'm trying to go back and forth with her to like let me go get my stuff. And she tries to walk off and was like, figure it out. And I was like, what in the world? But her phone died. So she had to follow me back to my friend's house to charge our phone. And then when I get back to her place, I try to leave and she wouldn't let me leave. So I'm calling Ubers and they kept, you cancel Uber or when you take too long or cancel Uber, they charge you. I got charged like $15 because I kept calling Ubers to leave and she wouldn't let me out the house or let me leave the complex. Yeah,
Wow.
man. I literally had to. There's way more to the story, but the only way I escaped is I had to play nice. I called my cousin while we were at the restaurant before we got in the Uber because I smelt drama in the air. And he was like, I can't come pick you up right now because I have to snow plow the streets, but I'll pick you up in the morning. So I knew this whole time that I was going to go home the next day or go to his place the next day. I already
Right.
knew this. And I rescheduled my flight, but she didn't know this. I just played dumb until I had to play nice. And then the next day, she woke up like nothing happened. And I was like, oh, forgot my cousin wants to come pick me up and go to his house or something. I'm not going to be able to stay. And he picked me up and I'm flying back home that day. But
Yo.
it was a wild experience, and the whole time we was outside, it was that weekend was probably one of the worst snowstorms DC had, and it was probably like 15, 20 degrees outside. It was a bad experience, man. Yeah, I
How'd
didn't
you
go back to
meet
DC,
her, man? Like she's like super psycho.
bro. I met her. I was in DC. So this was probably I had met her a month prior during New Year's. We had met during New Year's weekend and we kind of hit it off. It was cool, but I didn't live there. And then I went back to see her like a month later. And but the weekend that I went there, we got snowed in. So as soon as I landed, maybe an hour later it started snowing. Man, it was probably like 3 or 4 feet. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it was probably one of the most
That's
it
horrible,
was it
bro.
was a very wild experience.
Yeah, man. Man.
Yeah,
That's
man, that's
scary.
crazy.
That's
It
very
it
that, that
well,
that's scary.
it is very scary. The only thing that kind of got me through that is whenever I go any, I'm a very strategic person, And I wasn't too worried. Whenever I go to certain cities, I always know somebody there. But DC, like my sister lives in DC. I got a ton of cousins. I got a bunch of family in DC. So I know if push comes to shove, I have friends and family. I got somewhere to go.
Yeah,
I
but
got
you went to
somebody to pick me
sleep.
up. I didn't have true. I didn't have a choice, man.
I feel you, but you
I,
went to sleep, bro. Like
I know. And you probably stayed up. I know. Actually, I took a cat nap because we were up going back and forth for like hours, like afterwards. And I just got to the point where, bro, I just got so tired. I was like, you know what? This whatever. If you stab me with something, at least I slept good. I was so tired of arguing, man. You just get to a point where you like, just kill me now. I'm
you
over it.
say that, but I've had somebody
I'm
hit me
just,
with a car before.
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. I
It's
didn't
just,
think
yeah.
she was gonna go that far to do anything because she was in a mode of like sorrow after she saw that I was serious. When she saw that I was serious and like really trying to leave, her whole attitude changed. Like
See,
she
that's the
wasn't.
problem right there.
Yeah.
That is the problem right there. When it goes from
Yeah.
feast to famine in a nanosecond, run.
Yeah.
It's just old
100%
man
was
wisdom.
like, yeah, we didn't see each other after that.
I would not. Yeah, I would have blocked her on everything.
Yeah.
She's probably still. I had a guy on the show a few years ago,
Uh-huh.
and there was a young lady that literally was stalking this man.
I haven't had
She
anybody stalk me.
comments all the time on that interview to this day.
That's weird. That's
He
mental issues.
to the point she lived in another state. He had to call the police in her state on her.
That's crazy.
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, it is some super psychos out here. And,
It
and, and
is.
I- 2 weeks ago, I want to say, I get a YouTube notification. It's that crazy, broad. Yes,
Man. Just saying something random about the interview or
about him. Yes, I still love you. I'm like, and this is not even somebody that he dated.
man.
This is just somebody that was just a person that happened to see him. He's kind of a big dude on Facebook, got a
Hmm.
huge following, and she was just man nuts.
Man.
Yes.
Popularity do something to some women,
Oh my
man.
god.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Fellas, know your worth, but also watch your ass, man. There's some crazy women out here
Crazy
too.
women out here.
And
Yeah.
sisters, you watch us because there's some crazy dudes out here too. Crazy is
Mhm.
everywhere. Anyway, man, I want to thank you for your time and your energy. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got shit to
Thank
do.
you so, man. I
Um,
appreciate you even inviting me on the show, man. I always try to make sure I love doing people's podcasts. I love interviews, and I'm just appreciative that you asked me. So thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
you deserve it, bro. And don't when you get to Kevin Hart status, man.
Mhm.
Don't forget about the little people.
I won't, man.
You
You
know,
guys are the ones that are making me who I am and who I'm gonna be or aspire to be. So I thank y'all,
because I'm gonna be showing clips, man. Soon as that first movie roll out,
man.
clip, clip, clip. Cut it
He
up.
was on the show, yeah.
His favorite
That's
cereal is cinnamon toast crunch.
That's gonna be dope, man. You know, it's stuff like that. People love to see, like when you started from, way back when, and people like, oh,
Yes,
that's so cool. You got to interview so and so before they became who they were. It's always good to
yes,
see the memorabilia, that kind of stuff. So,
yes. I
so
like
that'd be
that
dope,
shit
man.
too, man.
Yeah.
Yes, I look forward to it. I'll be
Hmm.
riding. What's dope is like I don't know, man. I've like interviewed Chuck D.
Hmm.
A shitload of people over the years, and
Hmm.
I'll be riding in the car. I'm like, man, somebody come on the radio. I interviewed that person.
Yeah, it's
I,
dope.
I feel some
Isn't it
type of
cool?
way. It is kind of
Yep.
dope, man. I like
Yeah.
talking to people and I like listening, man. So this has been a dope ass journey for me.
Well, thank you, man. I
Anyway,
appreciate you having me on.
oh man, it was an honor, man. Keep doing your thing, bro, and please, please, please come to Cleveland.
I will, man. As soon
Yeah, I
as
need
I
some
get
tickets.
something going or get a
Need some
show,
tickets.
something like that, I'm gonna make sure that you taken care of, dog. I got you.
I'm gonna bring this back up too, bro.
I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word.
Hey, niggas get on the show and be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna buy you a Cadillac, bro. Can I get a rim? Can I get a
Yeah.
tank of gas?" Oh, I didn't say shit, man. That was your shit. I was pouring in.
Now I
I'm
can
not
do something
pouring
with some
anymore.
tickets. Cadillac, I don't know about that.
Anyway, man, on that note, man, God bless you, man. It's been a beautiful conversation, man. You enjoy yourself, man. And I'm looking forward to the skits turning into something bigger because I can see it.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know,
man, it will. In due time, it's gonna happen, man.
and if you need an old dude on the show, let me know. I got you.
I got you. I got you, man. Thank you.
No doubt, man. On that note, peace. You have a good one, bro.
Thanks, man. You too, man. Stay blessed.
Oh, no doubt, man. You too.